Joe Staley took issue with my tweet about Frank Gore. And so now I'm trying to leverage that into getting Joe Staley to unretire. You want me to be nicer to Frank Gore, Joe, than unretire. Otherwise, I'm going to have to mention that he was one of the worst running backs in the league last year. But I won't say that.
Well, the funny thing, I read your tweet and I read the 17 yards. And do you know what I honestly thought? Yeah. I didn't think it was a criticism. Because I'll tell you why. And then I went and had a look at his stats for the year, and he got like 650 odd yards. I mean, you can't complain about that, right? And he averaged 3.5 yards a carry. Now here's the thing. I don't see 17 yards as a fault. To me, that's a benefit. Do you know what I'd love his maximum yard to have been?
What?
3.5. Do you know why? Because then as a coach, if he's averaging 3.5 and he's greatest...
There's no outlier. There's no one outlier skewing the average.
Then I know exactly where I stand, because if if I'm a 2nd and 2, well, I'm going to use him because 3.5 yards. I know he's going to get that. So to me, if somebody ran 50 yards, but then all the other ones were ones, well, that's terrible. So
I remember when I was a kid, there was this running back. I forget what his name was, but he had this great quote. He said, if you need 1 yard, I'll give you 3. You need 5 yards, I'll give you 3. I always love that. I forget who that was. Anyway, that's Frank Gore.
It's really true. And the thing is, I actually, Joe Staley will like this. I actually want Frank Gore back. I'd be more than happy for him to be back. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
He's on a vet minimum, right? Well, yeah. So he's cheaper than Coleman. He can block just as well. He can play. He played like 16 games. He'll play me all year. He's not going to get injured.
True.
Right?
True.
Why? For what reason would you not bring Frank Gore? His leadership. He's gonna show the other guys how to run and not get injured. I can't see a single negative for bringing him in and getting rid of Coleman. That's the big proviso on that. So for me, I didn't see that. I didn't understand the criticism. I totally did not get it. And I think Joe Staley should be happy. I think the Niners should bring him in.
All right. Hey, I'm not arguing. I mean, when you put it that way, I was thinking, they might sign an undrafted free agent for the same amount of money. But you could do both. You could sign an undrafted free agent and Gore and roll out the balls in training camp and see what happens. I mean, the guy might get hurt anyway. The rookie might get hurt, and it's good. It's true. You have a 49ers legend who's experienced, who has leadership, who's cheap and durable. It's a good point.
And he wants to come to us. So anybody that wants to come to us who's high quality, the 49ers should really consider that person. And
you swayed me. I changed my mind. I think the Niners should sign Frank Gore. Why not? What's the downside? You give him $900,000. Tell him nothing's guaranteed. If you make the team at a training camp, great. He probably would make the team. And then probably by week 8, he'd probably be starting because the other guys can't stay healthy. Sure. Sign him up.
Well, the thing, again, it comes back to coaching, because for me, I would use him a specific way and it would benefit the team. It's a phenomenal way to actually use Frank Gore. And it's this: if you run Mostert, you run Wilson, that's fine. What happens when it's a blowout? Don't you want don't you want Mostert off the field? Don't you want,
That's a good point.
Don't you want to stop running Debo because the game's over? So who am I bringing in? I'm bringing in Frank Gore. I know he can take care of himself. That's fine. Yeah. And because I'm already thinking, as a head coach, I'm already thinking about the following week.
Yes.
Now look,
I like that. That's another good point. I like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But you're Grant. You know who you're talking to here. It's not Kyle Shanahan.
No, it's not going to happen.
And look, and I'll give you a great example. In the NFC Championship game, right? Mostert ran for 220 yards, 4 touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
say I was coaching, instead of Kyle Shanahan, say I was coaching. Do you think he would have got 4 touchdowns for the game? Do you think he would have run 220 yards?
No, you would have.
Absolutely not. He would have been sitting right next to me, right next to me, right? I wouldn't let him out of my side. And I say, young man, you're done. You're done for today. Okay, you've already got 3 touchdowns. We're saving you for the Super Bowl, but I'm going to really use you in the Super Bowl, by the way. But for now, just sit down and relax. So, and that is the difference. And this is why I keep saying Kyle Shanahan is a fantastic OC, but he is not a head coach. He does not understand the thought processes required to be a head coach. He does not have that skill set whatsoever.
Agree. And another thing, like a lot of Niner fans are like, well, he's young. He can improve his decision making. And I think what we're trying to tell Niner fans is decision making is a trait that you kind of inherit. It's apparent at a young age. There are people in their mid-20s who are just excellent executive decision makers, and there are people who aren't and won't be, no matter how much life experience they get. That's the point, Anthony. Yeah.
I mean, it hit for me. It hit at 26, 27, and you either have it or you don't have it. But before that, of course, I was mucking around and having a good time. So I wouldn't have known. But So
it's born skill. You're born with the skill. That's what it is. You're born with it, and either you have it or you don't. And it really looks like Kyle doesn't have it. Although to his credit, he has all kind of other gifts, which has got him hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with it, because if your skill set is attention to detail and drawing up the game, the plays,
that's good.
That is it. That is fantastic. I can't do that.
We need you.
Yes. And I don't try to do that. I don't try to do a job that I know I cannot do. Right? So that's the lesson for Kyle, really. That in the off season he needs to think about that.